A rich kid offered to buy me dinner. He told me to order whatever I wanted, so I did, extravagantly. King crab, giant lobsters, premium caviar, and a spread fit for royalty. He smiled, his teeth flashing like a blade. That's when I realized what the invitation really was. If you can't finish it all, he said, smug, you're covering the bill. His phone was propped up on the table, the camera light faint but visible. A live stream. Thousands of people were already watching, their comments flashing fast across the screen. She's done for. That's a $95,000 meal. Serves her right, trying to mooch off a rich dude. Gold digger exposed, let's go. Share this. This one's hilarious. Under that invisible spotlight, they expected me to break down. Instead, I calmly picked up my fork and knife, met his gaze, and smiled. A setup, was it? He had no idea what kind of creature he'd just provoked. Because some predators don't roar. They smile first. A short clip made the rounds online not long ago. It showed a man and a woman shopping together. You never saw his face, but her expression was captured in painful detail. They were in a luxury boutique, surrounded by silk and glitter. She was radiant, trying on dress after dress, holding up designer bags and turning for his approval. That looks perfect on you. You should just get all the colors. Those heels? Absolutely. They're made for you. Encouraged, she tossed her old clothes in a bin, wearing her new ones like armor. Then came the twist. I said I'd shop with you. The man laughed. Not pay for you. The words landed like a slap. Her smile faltered.
What?
But you told me to get them.
He scoffed.
If I told you to jump off a bridge, would you do that too? Laughter spread through the crowd. Someone began filming. She bit her lip, trying to hold her dignity together. If you pay for these, I'll be your girlfriend. He laughed louder. Girlfriend? You?
Please.
You think a broke gold digger deserves me?
He didn't stop there.
He kept going, humiliating her for 10 whole minutes while the world watched through dozens of phones. By the end, her face was burning. She returned every single item, dug her old clothes from the trash, and slipped back into them before hurrying out, trapped forever in the memory of that laughter. I exited the video and stared at my notifications. A series of voice messages kept lighting up my screen. So, what do you say, babe? Send me your address, and I'll swing by. We can check out some stores, maybe pick up a few luxury bags, a necklace or two. Sound good? The voice was low and raspy, the kind that tries too hard to sound charming. I recognized it instantly. It was him, the man from the viral clip. I waited a beat, then sent a voice message back, syrupy and innocent. I'm not that into jewelry or designer bags. I'd be happy if you just took me out for dinner. Silence. Then, a ping from a private group chat. Guys, did I just hit the jackpot? The new one says, she only wants dinner. The replies came fast and brutal. Bro, please. There's no such thing as a good girl. She's baiting you. Yeah, she's just pretending to be chill. They all want something. Play along. Take her somewhere pricey, make her think it's all hers. They kept feeding him ideas. Top-tier steak, imported caviar, king crab, everything. Let her order until the table's full. Once it's all there, tell her you hate women who waste food. If she can't finish it, she pays. You can't return cooked dishes, so either she coughs up the cash or eats until she's sick. That's dark, one wrote, but brilliant. Can't wait to stream this one, man. This'll go viral again for sure. The chat was alive with laughter and cruelty. None of them noticed the quiet account in the corner, mine, watching every line roll by. Finally, a new message from him popped up. There's a 5-star place downtown. You'll love it. I smiled faintly and wiped the corner of my mouth, pretending to drool. Perfect, I said. The table looked like a feast for an emperor. Connor leaned back in his chair, eyes gleaming, the camera on his chest angled perfectly to catch my reaction. Babe, he said, trying not to laugh, I can't stand people who waste food. You ordered all this, so if you can't finish it, you're paying. I gasped, eyes wide.
What?
You expect me to eat all of this alone? His grin widened. What's wrong? Nervous now? You were all smiles when you ordered. In the live chat, viewers were eating it up. Here we go. The best part's coming. Connor's the man. 95 grand in food, she's doomed. She actually ordered 10 king crabs el mayo. And she tried to act all modest before. Classic gold digger move. This is gold. I want to see her cry. Connor chuckled. soaking in their praise. Stop staring and start eating, he said. Instead of crying or begging, I smiled.
Calm. Bright.
Unbothered. Thanks for the meal, Connor, I said softly. I'll make sure nothing goes to waste. And I didn't. Under thousands of watching eyes, I ate. Every last bite. Every dish meant for 10 people vanished, plate by plate, until there wasn't even a grain of rice left from the abalone risotto. If it wouldn't have drawn too much attention, I might have eaten the shells too. It was almost nostalgic, the way it felt. Familiar. Like I'd done something like this before a long, long time ago. I must have been starving then too. Connor paid the $95,000 bill, his complexion almost gray. So, I said sweetly, as if I hadn't just consumed a meal for 10. Should I expect a second date? My treat this time. He stared at my flat stomach, clearly trying to make sense of the impossible, and muttered, "Huh." The live-streamed chat had taken a turn. He planned every detail, but didn't factor in her being a pro-eater. No wonder she agreed so fast. Girl must have been starving. She didn't even go to the bathroom once. How is that possible? Something's off about her. I can't even laugh anymore. Come on, the takedown team can't lose to one girl. Connor was still dazed when a hand clapped his shoulder. Connor, out on a date. I turned to find a handsome man with an easy smile. Connor instantly switched tones. Nah, man, just a friend from an online game. First time meeting. He gestured between us. Talia, this is Simon Hayes. Simon called a waiter over and ordered 3 coffees. Since we've bumped into each other, why not sit and chat? He looked at me, eyes curious. Miss Talia, still have room for coffee? As he leaned closer, a faint, hypnotic scent drifted from him. My nose twitched before I could stop it. Simon, you smell incredible, I said honestly. He laughed softly. Glad you like it. I'll send you a bottle. Connor frowned, mock offended. What, I don't smell good? I glanced down, pretending to blush. You do. But Simon smells better. They both chuckled. That scent, however, wasn't harmless. It wrapped around me like fog, awakening something deep and hungry inside. My full stomach felt suddenly hollow again. Simon's tone turned businesslike. This might sound sudden, but I was sitting behind you earlier. I saw you eat. He paused. I recently started a media company. We're launching a food channel, and I think you'd be perfect for it. Competitive eater, sweet face, great contrast. You'd blow up overnight. I blinked. Me? Of course. You've got something unique, Talia. We exchanged numbers. Hours later, when I finally stepped into my apartment, my phone buzzed. A new friend request. The message attached read, I know what you're doing. I hesitated, then accepted. It was a blank account, no name, no photo, no details. Hello. I typed. The reply came instantly. Leave the group.
Cut contact with those people.
You don't understand who you're dealing with. I played dumb. What group? Don't pretend. The Hunt Club. You've been watching them for days. You deliberately met Connor, let him stream it, and flipped the script.
Why?
Are you trying to avenge the girls they destroyed? I stayed silent. Whatever your plan is, stop now. They're rich, untouchable. The whole thing is just sport to them. If they realize you're toying with them, you'll be next. You know what happened to the last person who crossed them? Oh, I knew. Her name was Tessa, a senior at City University. 3 months ago, she jumped from the library roof the night before graduation. We grew up together in the same foster home. I called her my sister. I was born with a hunger that never faded. No matter how much I ate, it was never enough. Tessa used to share her food with me, watching as I devoured her portion. She'd smile and say, I found you, so you're my responsibility. The home's director adored her, smart, hardworking, polite. He gave her extra eggs and milk, and she'd sneak them to me instead. As I ate, guilt clawed at me, but Tessa would always promise, when I graduate and get a good job, you'll never go hungry again. But she never got that chance. And I was furious. Because now, when I was starving, there was no one left to feed me. Her roommate later gave me a battered notebook, the only thing she'd managed to save before the school threw everything else away. The name that appeared over and over again inside it was the Hunt Club. I watched that group for days. It didn't take long to understand what it really was, a playground for spoiled, wealthy men with too much time and not enough conscience. They lured women they labeled as gold diggers, tricked them into humiliating situations, and then broadcast their suffering for laughs. But Tessa wasn't like that. She would never chase money or vanity. I remembered when I once stole 2 bread rolls because I was starving. She found out and beat my hands with a thin bamboo stick. Even through tears, she scolded me. Even the poorest person must stay honest, Talia. She preached about pride and morality until I couldn't even feel my fingers. Perfect grades, perfect morals, having a sister like that wasn't easy. One slip, and you get both the sermon and the sting. March 10th, Sunday. Clear skies. I didn't know people could be this cruel. What did I do to deserve it? March 15th, Friday. Light rain. They came to the cafe. Claimed my hands were dirty, that I made them sick. They demanded $20,000 in compensation. My salary is $800. The boss lent me the money and fired me afterward. March 19th, Tuesday. Overcast. They won't stop. I lost my tutoring job too. They said I tried to seduce the father, harass the child. The mother attacked me in public. My dorm mates threw my belongings into the hallway. I did nothing wrong. Why is this happening? April 6th, Saturday. Heavy rain. I haven't sent money to the foster home in months. I wonder if Talia is eating enough. If she's still studying. I wanted to help her. I never imagined this would happen. They're monsters. Not me. I only tried to protect another girl they targeted. I just wanted to help. But I'm tired. I can't sleep. I can't stop crying. I can't call Talia. She'll worry. Endure it, Tessa. Just endure it. 3 months later, she didn't endure. Graduation season. She leapt from the roof. The university hushed it up quickly. No press, no scandal. Her body handled quietly, her name forgotten within days. She was an orphan. No family to mourn her, no one to protest. The world barely rippled when she disappeared. I started streaming mukbangs for Simon Hayes' new media company. One session went insane. I polished off 8 bundles of Fujian-style noodles, 20 mooncakes, 10 bowls of sweet rice balls, 6 bowls of nanchang spicy noodles, 50 soup dumplings, and finished with an 8-inch chocolate cake alongside 5 giant fruit teas. The clip went viral almost instantly. The reactions were chaotic. Some viewers were stunned, some skeptical, others tried to copy the meal, and a few swore I must have a serious eating disorder. A circus of opinions and outrage. I ignored all of it. As long as I could eat my fill, nothing else mattered. Simon rewarded me with a trip to Africa, a safari hunt. The savannah stretched endlessly. He raised a rifle and, with one shot, brought down a magnificent male lion. Blood pooled on the parched ground. These animals are raised in private reserves, $500,000 each, he explained. This is the real test of dominance for those in our circle. Want to try? He asked, guiding me behind him, his arms brushing my sides as he showed me how to hold the rifle and aim. One of his assistants tossed a deer leg across the dirt. A few leopards slinked closer, drawn to the scent. This is the hunt, Simon whispered, his warm breath brushing my ear. All it takes is a little bait to ignite the greed in their bones. They'll follow it, even knowing danger is waiting. And then bang, he added softly, and I flinched as the shot whizzed past the leopards. Startled, they grabbed the leg and vanished into the tall grass. Simon didn't scold me. He stroked my hair, indulgent. It's fine. I know girls like you have soft hearts. I pressed my face to his chest, holding back the sharp claws that threatened to break free. Lately, my body had been changing. Something ancient and dormant was stirring beneath the surface. The only certainty remained, the hunger, gnawing and endless, in my stomach. Back in the States, the anonymous account contacted me again. I know who you are. You're Tessa's sister. You got close to Connor and his friends to get revenge. You can't win against them. I blocked the account without a word. Moments later, a different burner account pinged. I just want to help. I swear. Meet me in person if you don't believe me. I considered it. Only if you're buying dinner. She picked KFC. I didn't hold back. 5 family-sized buckets later, I looked across at the girl wearing a hat and face mask. She froze. You're Tessa's roommate, I said, taking a bite of fried chicken. She looked shocked. You recognize me? I twitched my nose. I remember your scent. After a long pause, she spoke. Don't you want to know why Tessa really died? I read the diary, I said casually. She tried to help someone, got targeted, and couldn't take it anymore. That's how it ended. Her voice shook. And that's all? You can talk about it like it's nothing. I met her eyes. So what did you do while she suffered? You were the one she helped. Why did you get to walk away untouched while she was pushed over the edge? She slumped. You're right. I fell for Connor's trap. He tricked me at a luxury store, tried to humiliate me, and Tessa just happened to save me. That's what triggered them. Then they shifted to Tessa, ruined her life, spread lies, even convinced the university she was guilty of moral misconduct. She couldn't see a way out. I finished my buckets, licking my fingers clean. Thanks for the meal. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
My phone rang. Simon.
Where are you, Talia? We have a live stream tonight. Don't be late. I gave him the address. The girl across from me glared. You never wanted revenge. Your sister's death was just a ladder for you, she hissed. Without it, you'd never have a chance with men like them. I smiled, calm. Simon isn't like Connor. And I'm not like you. Why are you so different? I tilted my head, letting the tips of my canines show. You wanted money. I want him. She screamed after me. Your sister died horribly. And you'll be their lapdog. I looked back, smiling. Tessa wasn't my real sister anyway. We were both orphans. Simon drove me to the secluded villa where our live streams were held. The room was packed. Connor and nearly every member of the Hunt Club were there, watching me with a mix of anticipation and malice.
Connor caught my eye.
Well, hello there, future Mrs. Hayes. I lower my head. Don't call me that. Simon will be upset. He whispered, leaning close. Tonight's going to be unforgettable. Simon's going to confess his love live. Don't ruin it by looking surprised. After he left, Simon asked me to wait upstairs while he prepared the main hall. Bored, I browsed the study. My hand brushed against a box tucked behind the books. It wasn't locked. Inside, I froze. A familiar cover, charred at the edges. The other half of Tessa's journal. May 16th, Thursday, sunny. Finally, a clear day. Maybe it's because I met my guardian angel. He silenced the rumors, erased the humiliation, and told me to focus on living again. He said I wasn't like the others, that I didn't deserve such cruelty. That's what I'd always wanted to believe. Even if some of those women did chase money, what right did anyone have to destroy them for sport? But his voice was so kind, his words so gentle. I think I might be falling for him. Or maybe I'm just exhausted. Maybe I just want to rest for once, to stop fighting. May 20th, Monday, sunny. I've never seen so many roses in my life. I tried to refuse, but they were too beautiful. May 25th, Sunday, rain. I called Talia today. Told her once I graduate, I'll find a job that pays well, so she'll never have to go hungry again. She laughed, that big carefree laugh of hers. That girl has always loved to eat. Keeping her full might be my biggest challenge.
I have to stop now.
He's waiting downstairs. He said he has a surprise for me. The second half of Tessa's journal was nothing like the first. Where the earlier entries were all tears and degradation, these last months glowed with a dizzying happiness, the innocent euphoria of a girl who thought she'd found salvation. Until the final page. I came out of the shower, but it wasn't him waiting. There were men, strangers. I fought, screamed until my throat tore. Blood everywhere. It hurts. It hurts so much. He crouched beside me, voice calm, even tender. Tessa, he said, tonight is your punishment. I gave in to greed. I wanted something that wasn't mine, so now I have to pay. Others wanted money, but I was foolish enough to want his love. He filmed everything. Said he'd show it to the world on graduation day. I can't go to the police. Every gift, every message, every meeting, they all make it look like I went willingly. I'll never be believed. He said there's only one way to stop him. I'm sorry, Talia. I can't hold on anymore. Everything I believed in is broken. Everything I thought was real has vanished. If they ever find you too, please run. Run far from that devil, Simon Hayes. Inside the box, beneath the journal, was a single videotape. I didn't need to watch it to know what it contained. My hands trembled. Simon was about to declare his love for me live on stream, and I'd just found proof that he destroyed my sister. After a moment of false panic, I made my choice. I tore the journal pages into shreds and swallowed them one by one. Just as I finished, his voice called up from below. Talia, are you ready? The main hall glittered with red roses and pink balloons. A spotlight blazed at the center, aimed straight at the live stream camera. Simon smiled and gestured for me to step forward. I walked into the light. My heart thundered. Then his voice, cool and distant, drifted from the balcony. Let's begin, my dear little prey. A sharp pop echoed overhead. Balloons burst, showering me in a rancid torrent of garbage and spoiled food. I screamed, instinctively shielding my face. Laughter erupted around me. Connor's voice cut through it, triumphant. They stared from above, gleeful and detached, the same way they'd once watched dying animals flail in the dust of the savannah. Live shows hit different, someone jeered. Wait, isn't she the sister of that girl from City U, the one who jumped? Another said. No one plays the game like Simon. He always tops the charts, someone else replied. If tonight goes like the last one, we'll have another body before sunrise. Simon stood only a few paces away. His expression was still soft, the same disarming smile he always wore, but the words leaving his mouth were venom. I gave you a chance, sweetheart, he said. I knew who you were from the beginning. And do you know what? It thrilled me. Almost as much as when I found your sister. He took a step closer, eyes glinting. Tessa was strong, stubborn. It took real effort to break her. But her ending was exquisite. Humiliating gold diggers is easy. The true art lies in breaking someone's spirit. I was almost disappointed after she died. I thought I'd never find another like her. Then you showed up. My gaze flicked to the second floor. Tessa's old roommate was there, trembling, eyes wide. You let me into the group on purpose, I said quietly.
He laughed.
Of course. Everyone in that chat is from our circle. Did you really think a stranger could sneak in unnoticed? He continued, voice smooth and mocking. I gave you everything, fame, money, luxury, affection. I made you believe you were special, that maybe you could climb from nothing to something, that you could become a phoenix. I enjoy giving my prey choices. Watching them struggle is half the fun. He smiled wider. But you didn't even resist. I almost wondered if you ever meant to avenge her at all. So I sent her roommate to remind you, to stir your conscience. Then he started laughing, full, unrestrained. You don't even know, do you? Every second you spent upstairs was streamed live. Watching you panic, chewing on those pages, it was priceless. Such desperation. Such greed. His voice turned cold. That's why your punishment tonight will be the harshest of all. My tears spilled. Simon, if I hadn't eaten the diary, would you have spared me? He tilted his head, amused. Maybe. But prey doesn't change its fate. Once the hunt begins, it always ends the same. 10 massive wooden barrels were rolled in. The stench alone was enough to make my stomach churn, a nauseating mix of rot and decay. Talia, Simon said softly, wiping the grime from my face with a handkerchief, I've always wondered, how far can you go? He gripped my chin firmly, forcing me to meet the camera. The men upstairs began to chant.
Eat.
Eat it all. 10 barrels, swallow them. Or maybe one of us will end you quickly. Simon just got back from Myanmar. Show us what new horrors you learned. Forget the mind games. Body is enough. When it's done, we'll bury her under the crabapple. The last one under the camellia, perfect bloom this spring. The malice hit me like a tidal wave, but beneath the stench, another scent reached me, stronger, sweeter, intoxicating. Corruption, greed, lust, it was a perfume only a predator could savor. A hunger and rage erupted from within me. It could no longer be contained. I lowered my head and smiled. I'm hungry. Simon blinked, confused. I repeated, tilting my head the way I had when we first met. Simon, you smell amazing. He stumbled back. And then my smile widened impossibly, tearing past the corners of my mouth to reveal 2 rows of razor-sharp, serrated teeth, 108 in all. My body stretched and contorted, claws erupting from my fingers, cracking marble beneath me as I moved. The human form had vanished. I was a predator, massive and terrifying. Simon looked like a lamb facing a wolf. He tried to run, but his legs gave out. I seized him by the neck effortlessly, lifting him into the air. My dear hunter, I rasped, voice grinding like stone. I've waited a long time for this. I inhaled the scent of his corrupt soul. It was exquisite, irresistible. I bit, and his scream pierced the air before ending abruptly. Silence fell. The crowd froze, terrified, some trembling, some wetting themselves. My gaze swept over them, and I let a low growl ripple through the room. Monster, someone finally screamed. It's a monster. The villa was sealed, the perfect hunting ground. They whispered frantic questions, desperate to escape. Where's the key? Call the police. Who? What is that? Monster? I was far more than a monster. I was one of the ancient perils of the world, the embodiment of gluttony and vengeance. Some remembered the old legends. One man stammered.
Tao Tai.
On my grandfather's bronzes, it looks just like this. I licked the blood from my fangs and leapt to the railing, eyes scanning the terrified crowd. Connor, who had once bought me dinner, would be last. Tessa's roommate had fainted.
Perfect.
No distractions. Tonight, the hunt was absolute. Epilogue. Atahualpa's appetite is infinite. A few dozen corrupt souls were barely a morsel. Outside lay the human world, full of more to taste, more to consume. But then, in a light beyond the villa, I saw her.
Tessa.
Her soul moved, lips forming silent words. She called my name, Talia. A memory unlocked. My last awakening hadn't been tonight, but 15 years ago, near the orphanage by the river. Humans were feasting, war and famine everywhere. I ate, then found a small girl with a bread roll. She offered it to me without fear, the first human ever to see my true form and not run. I shrank myself, hiding my monstrous nature, and allowed her to believe I was just another orphan. She became my sister, and I sealed my memories to understand humanity. Now, 15 years later, the seal had cracked. Tessa stood before me, not the child I remembered, but fully aware of what I truly was. Death is nothing to me, but her soul was too pure, too bitter to consume. She extended her hand, just as she had with the bread roll, lips silently asking, "Are you hungry? Talia, come home with me." For the first time in millennia, in that gnawing emptiness inside me, I felt fullness. Love, a simple, mortal love. I reached out and took her hand, not with claws, but with my human hand. "Let's go home, big sister."